Hamilton the musical. Wait a second. Why am I getting deja vu? Oh, yeah. So the last Hamilton video was a lot of fun to make, so I thought, may as well make another one. But what else is there to talk about? Well, today, dear viewer, we will be ranking the top 10 Hamilton songs. I would like to preface that this is just my opinion, so please don't ridicule me for having an opinion on the internet about songs. That'd just be really stupid of you to do, so just maybe please don't. Yeah, that's a good idea for you. And, just to make this clear, if at any point I praise a character, I am not praising their IRL historical actions, which was clearly not very clear to one specific person, who I won't name here, who got pretty mad that I put Thomas Jefferson at number 2, even though he owned slaves and was, pretty bad. Yeah. But under that logic, George Washington shouldn't be able to be liked because he owned slaves and was, pretty open about it. So, yeah. Similar with that logic. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to get out of the way beforehand. Now we can just jump into the ranking. Let's start off at number 10. At number 10 on the list, we have You'll Be Back by King George. Let's just get this one out of the way. He's King George. He was destined to be on this list somehow. And You'll Be Back is probably his best song in the musical, even though he only has 3, but that's still somehow more than Hamilton, which I find extremely ridiculous. But at least this is better than I Know Him. I Know Him is just trash, and it has no reason to be here. I get that it's there to show his reaction to George Washington stepping down, but do we really need to see that? Okay, anyway, back to You'll Be Back. This is his villain song, his at his peak villain song. Even though I don't know why he's got a bloody cape on. I'm glad he ditches that for his 2 next songs. And also the large amount of spit that comes out of his mouth is genius. And his just, yeah. The reason this is on the list is because I needed a 10th slot, and King George was there, and he was very King George. So he's on the list, but he's not that high. Let's move on to number 9, where I can actually start, properly, being nice to the... Let's have another round. Yeah, go on then. At number 9 on this list, we have The Story of Tonight and Story of Tonight Reprise, because I'm just grouping those 2 together. This song shows a very good, in a very good way, shows Hamilton's and his friends' friendship and what they hope to achieve and how they shape who Hamilton will become and who he is currently. Also, just more subtle hints at John Lawrence and Hamilton's relationship. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Ha, ha. And also, just Lafayette gets a few more just lines of loveliness. And Hercules Mulligan gets to be cool, I guess, because he doesn't really get any standout moments in this. That's what Yorktown is for. But, this is still a good one to show Hamilton's friendship with his guys. Even though it's not that long, but it's still good. I still like it. And there's not really much more to say, so let's move on to number 8. Alright, my way, overwhelmed with honesty. Alright, hear me out. You might think I'm memeing, you might think I'm pulling a funny, but I will defend Hurricane until the end. I don't think Lynn's performance in this is actually that bad. Sure, he sounds like he's about to cry every other word, but so is Hamilton meant to in this scene. It's just, and also it's one of the only times Hamilton full-on just mentions his trauma, He mentioned being an orphan throughout the whole thing, and that's the one insult Burr has against him is that he's an orphan, even though Burr is also an orphan. And he also calls him a bastard, but that's besides the point. Hurricane just shows a very good, of how Hamilton surviving those events that happened to him in his like younger years have not helped him and only driven him like sadder, which is also explains why he was so hungry to like get a legacy and just do what he could with the time that he thought he had left, and also how he just like he thinks that writing is the only way to like escape hardships that come his way. I think is very cool. Even though it's like the dumbest decision he makes throughout the entire musical to write down the Reynolds pamphlet, but that's the point. Besides the point. Also, that when he says he couldn't seem to die, and then Burr says, "Wait for it," peak foreshadowing right there. And also, how it looks like he's holding a gun, even though he's holding a book. Go on, Burr. We love you, Burr. Overall, this song is just very sad, and it's better than Quiet Uptown. Alright, moving on to number 7. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, J. Dog. At number 7, we have Your Obedient Servant, which is a duet number between Hamilton and Burr, but Burr mostly, where they write letters to each other after Burr lost the election and then got mad, which I would like to point out, it's not as simple as I am jealous of Guy, now I shoot him. He lost the election by one endorsement, and then he tried to go for mayor of a town and lost to Hamilton. The guy is justified to challenge him to a duel. Come on now. But I also just think this song is just really catchy, and I just love it so much. Like, I love singing along to it. I sing along to Burr's parts mostly, because Burr is king, Burr is God, Burr is life. Like, Burr is just, like, really good in the song. Even though he's good in all his songs, but, like, he is just really catchy in the song. And this will not be the last you see of Burr in this ranking, obviously. But Burr and Hamilton's, like, just passive aggressiveness to each other just gets to finally shine. They're no longer trying to hide it behind like sweet pleasantries or whatever. They just get to be like full on spiteful, and it's really cool. I think that's all I have to say about the song. Now let's move on to number 6. We're looking for a mind at work. Hey, number 6. At number 6 we have the Schuyler Sisters, which is really Peggy's only time to shine in this entire musical, which is really sad. But this song does a good job at just being a really fun, bouncy song that you get to just, like, listen along to. And also, like, Eliza and Angelica's, like strong connection is really, like, teased in this song. And then, obviously, that comes back way later in the movie. Or musical, I mean. And also, Burr gets rejected again? Like, didn't he just get rejected in Right Hand Man by Washington? Obviously, that's a different kind of rejection, but, like, the guy gets rejected so many times. Like, come on, man. Can the guy catch a break? Anyway, this song is, like, obviously just really bouncy and just really fun, and it's just a lot of fun, you know? And yeah, I love it, and I think no one else will fight me on this, that it's a really good song, and it deserves to be in the top 10. Anyway, let's move on to number 5. Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? At number 5, we have Dear Theodosia, a beautiful duet between Hamilton and Burr about becoming new fathers. I will fight on the hill that this is the most beautiful song in the entire musical. Burr's lyrics are impeccable, are just magnificent. It's performed brilliant. The lyrics themselves are so nice, and it's just really fun to listen to. This would be at like number 3 if Lynn wasn't in it. Unlike Hurricane, I will not defend Lynn's lyrics on this. It is pretty awful, you know. Well, it's not awful because it's Lynn. He still does a good job. But he just sounds like he's about to cry every lyric. Like, he's not good at being quiet, which actually really fits for Hamilton, think about it. But, like, for the point of the song, he's meant to be really quiet and soft-spoken. But he still sounds like he's trying to be loud, but he's, like, not meant to. But Burr just really carries it, too, here. Otherwise, it would be like, if this was a Hamilton solo, oh, God. This would be, like, I don't know. Wait till I do a top 10 worst. That'll be great. But this is just a really sweet duet about becoming a father that I just, like, really like. And I don't see why more people don't consider it one of the best songs in the entire musical. Now let's move on to number 4. I am not throwing away my shot! Yeah! At number 4, we have My Shot. This song is a really good demonstration of just how willing to do anything Hamilton really is. He's willing to just do whatever it takes to get his voice heard, and also his friends, like, he meets his friends and he becomes friends with them. Like, he just becomes really supportive friends with all 3 of these guys, and it's just really nice. These outcasts, like, taking a stand and just, like, not giving up and just, like, proving what they're made of. It's just really nice to see. And also, as the 3rd song in the musical, I am surprised that it's this good. Like, you wouldn't see Alexander Hamilton here, I'm sorry, but, like, it spoils the entire storyline once you've watched it. Like once you know what it's talking about. And, like, in retrospect, it does spoil it. But My Shot is just like, yo, I'm Hamilton. I got a voice. Listen or die, you know? Like, that's kind of the energy it gives off, and it's so good for it, you know? And also, Burr's just, like, annoyance during the whole thing is also just pretty funny. And also, of course, I dream of life
without a monarchy. The unrest in France will lead to anarchy. Anarchy. How you say? Anarchy.
I don't know why, I just find that really funny. Anyway, My Shot is a really good song, and that's all. So now let's move on to number 3. He will never be satisfied, satisfied, satisfied. One else was in the room where I edited this video. I'm going insane. In the silver medal of 2nd place, the room where it happens, which is Burr's swan song. The song where he gets to prove that he just wants to be in the room where it happens. Like, let him have some voice in the country's politics, you know. Oh, that's all he's ever wanted. And also, it just, like, it shows that Hamilton's not, like, he's willing to, like, work with enemies if it means getting his goal through the Congress floor. Like, he only agreed to let them have the capital so that he could get his financial plan through, and that's just cool. But also, back to Burr. His jealousy just shines through in this song, and it's just so good. And also, it's also just, like, one of the best songs to listen to as a song, like, even without the storyline relevance that it has. It's just really fun to listen to, and it's just such a fun romp through Burr's mindset with life, you know. And then this is where Burr's mask comes off and he just really gets to be a villain. Like, King George's out of the way. Now we can get to the real drama with the real guy. And he's like, Hamilton, why would you do this? We had it all. And then Hamilton's like, mate, we've got the banks. We don't need the capital. And then Burr's like, what do you mean we don't need the banks? Of course we need the banks. Like, that's just really funny to see their, like, differing beliefs. And then Hamilton's like, what do you want, Burr? Like, what will you believe? Like, come on, pick a side. Even though he's slandering my boy, which is just kind of rude. But, you know, this song is very good, but it's not number one. So let's find out. What could possibly be the best Hamilton song? Hamilton wrote the other 51. At number one, we have Non-Stop, which I think clearly stands out as the best Hamilton song. First of all, like, plot-wise, it wraps up everything in Act 1 perfectly. From Burr's, annoyance of Hamilton, to Angelica's, love for him, and Eliza's still kind of deeply smitten by him, but also kind of starting to be a bit heartbroken by his choices sometimes. Like, that's all just pretty good. And then Washington, being like, yo, you want to be my right-hand man? And Hamilton just being like, yeah, why not? Sounds fun. Like that, I just find that kind of funny. But back to the actual, like, quality of it. It's able to be chaotic and, like, fun, while also conveying what's actually happening pretty well. And Hamilton, I was chosen for the Constitutional Convention. That was just funny to hear. Like, Lynn's performance in this is pretty good. But obviously, this isn't a one-man Hamilton show. It's also one of Burr's. I know it always comes back to Burr with me, so shut up. Like, Burr in this song is really good. Like, he's just so fed up with Hamilton just getting what he wants somehow. So when Hamilton's like, yo, I need your help with this, like, crazy idea, Burr's like, you have got to be kidding me. Come on. And it's just completely justified. Like, if you were Burr, you'd have that exact same reaction. Like, man, this guy just doesn't know where to end. Yeah, I just find that really funny. And Hamilton's just like, so, like, what do you actually want? Like, can you stop slandering him? He's done that in, like, 2 songs now. Can the guy catch a break? Burr just wants to live his life and be in the room where it happens. Just let him in. But, I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling. But I just feel like this song is just clearly the best. Because it's able to be chaotic. It wraps up everything in Act 1 perfectly. And it's also just really good. So that is why I believe this to be the best Hamilton song. And that is my top 10 Hamilton songs ranking. As always, just letting you know this is just my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to leave your comment below and maybe prove me wrong, I don't know. But anyway, subscribe if you enjoyed, and goodbye.